We've got an assortment of guests this evening. We're going to talk in just a few moments. There's a new film coming out called The Hooping Life. Did you know that there's a hula hoop culture?
I sort of guessed by the number of people that I've seen on the streets hula hooping.
Yeah.
They're sort of coming out in droves and hula hooping in public. It's kind of amazing.
So we're going to have Anah, a.k.a. Hoopalicious, and she basically started this trend. I mean, hula hoops were, I guess, big in the 50s, because in the film, Art Linkletter is in the film, and there's something kind of, I don't know if it's kind of creepy, but he's talking about, you know, the hula hoop and undulating, and you're going, that's Art Linkletter. I didn't even know he was still alive. But anyway, he talks about the hula hoop, and so Anah, a.k.a. Hoopalicious, is going to be in studio, and also Amy Goldstein. And in some ways, the film is kind of inspirational, how the hula hoop helped some people turn their lives around. Either there's one guy that was battling depression. There's the inner city kid that it helps him kind of stay the straight and narrow. And so we're going to talk about that. And it's very visual. And it's a lot of fun.
Are you going to hula hoop tonight?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, I'm figuring that the one lady in the film, she lost 35 pounds. Mm-hmm. So if I do that, then I'll drop down to maybe like 375. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
That is a big lie.
Well, I'm a big man, all right? I'm a big man with a big lie.
Oh.
So anyway,
massive exaggeration.
Let's listen to a track, and then we're going to bring in our first guests for the evening. What shall we listen to?
Ooh, goodness.
Okay. Do we have another track on this CD?
I wouldn't say... Oh, yes, actually, track 3.
Track 3?
Put that on, yeah.
Okay. Track 3. Track 3, here we go. Coming up. Alrighty. And we will be right back.
I can't tell you how to be rich or how to be kind, but I sure know one thing, and that's how to love. I can tell you how to love, it's easier than you know. It takes some time, but baby, it's much better to be lonely until you turn the tides to take your trampled one and only. I can tell you, darling, how to love. The trick at first is finding someone kind and kind of blue. If she has been mistreated, even better for the blooming love affair you're carefully creating, cutting, grooming. I can tell you, darling, how to love.
The song stylings of Sterling Powers. Nice. And she's playing this weekend at Tax. So check that out. And she'll be back a little later. We'll listen to some more of her music. But now we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about a new documentary that's coming out called The Hooping Life. And we have Anah, a.k.a. Hoopalicious.
Yep. Right
The Hoopalicious, and just step right up to the mic there. Or should we say hula hoop up to the mic? And you brought your tools of the trade, too.
We did. We're hoping to get you to hoop. Absolutely.
Really?
Yep.
Now, I was looking at that because, Anah, your mom started hooping, and she dropped like 35 pounds.
She did.
So I'm hoping I could get down to maybe a good fighting, you know, like 375.
375.
That's what I'm hoping. I could drop a couple extra lbs.
We were hoping you could, too.
Yeah, you know, because, well, I figure, you know, the weight worked for Rush Limbaugh, you know, and look where he's at. Maybe I can do the same thing. And we also are joined tonight by Amy Goldstein, and she's the director of the film. Now, tell me, Amy, how did you find this project?
A lot of my friends were hooping, and I was starting to see it everywhere. And people were changing their names to names like Hoopalicious, and they seemed much happier than they had seen before they were doing it. And I just had to know more. And there was a very new community and a new subculture, and they were really game to make a movie.
So did you start hooping as well?
Absolutely. I hoop every day.
Oh, you do?
And I've taken off a couple 100 pounds.
So really, what is it about, what is it
she used to be huge.
She used to be huge? No, I doubt that. I doubt that. No, but what is it about hooping that you can lose the weight?
I mean, I think because it's fun. You don't feel like you're exercising.
You don't feel like you're exercising?
Yeah, it's absolutely a lot of fun. And it feels like someone's giving you a massage. So you get to sort of be massaged and lose a little weight while you're at it.
And getting a massage is fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're covering, it's like the food groups. You're covering the fun and the massage group.
And you could watch a movie while you're doing it.
Well, a lot of people will have you say, have you believe that you can just, hoop for 15 minutes while watching your favorite TV show. And that's better than sitting on the couch. But if you really want to lose weight, you gotta, there's no way around sweating and putting your effort in. But the nice thing about hooping is that it's a fun way to put your effort in. So it's not like, oh God, I gotta go to the gym. It's like, oh gee, boy, I gotta hoop.
Well, it's also too, from what I gather with the film, it becomes like a deeper, almost a spiritual connection with the hoop.
It is.
And, it's interesting because it's round and you're in the center of it.
Right. See, you already get it.
Yeah.
Good work.
And I find fascinating that the people that you feature in the film, it really runs the gamut from the inner city kid to the performance artist. And then there's kind of this arc with you. Because what I got from the film is you kind of created this, I don't know if it's a subculture or it's the new culture of the hula hoop. And you're doing it for the love of the art, and then you hook up with Christabel, and then she goes on and takes it. Now it becomes, she becomes the Richard Simmons of hooping, and with all the products and all the.
She's gonna like that,
and all the stuff, and then there you are going, well, what about me?
Yeah.
But on a deeper level, I think that there is really, you weren't doing it for that. You're doing it for really because you even say in the film. You say that, first I was going to hang on to this because this is my product, but then, I'm just going to open up and set it free.
Well, yeah, it's like all great things that make you really happy. There's nothing to be gained by holding it back and trying to be the one person doing it. I think if you truly love something, you want to share it. You want other people to do it and to enjoy it with other people. And, of course I wanted to make a living at it, and I still do. I'm definitely doing better now, but, there's the two things are not separate necessarily. My first priority is to the integrity of the art and the integrity of the community. So that those are definitely my first priority, and that's probably why I haven't made more money yet. But I wouldn't have it any other way. That's just part of who I am.
I don't get the sense you have the value of money. I don't get the sense that you have that, at least at this point.
Right.
It's a deeper thing for you.
Absolutely, yeah. It never was something like, oh, I'm going to get rich doing this. Like, this is going to be my ticket, It just was something that felt amazing, and it put me on a whole journey, and it was kind of unavoidable. I couldn't really, say no. So, yeah.
The amount of people that Anah has inspired is insane. And that's what this movie was partly telling the story of.
Right.
That there's a young woman who works in the inner city community who, by seeing Anah hoop, got inspired to build self-esteem with kids and start her own program. Or a guy in the South who began a spiritual practice that is very devoted, and he's really turned a lot of people, hundreds of thousands of people, onto hooping for, as a spiritual practice.
Well, yeah, and he also talks about he's a straight male in the same
South.
place that started
NASCAR racing.
NASCAR and wrestling or something.
Yes.
Which it just doesn't jive.
Yes. And he's become to be very proud of it. And in Carlsbad, North Carolina, it's huge now.
And then there's that kid that is the epitome of androgyny, isn't he?
Yes, Carice. Yeah.
Carice.
Who does Lucha Vavoom in Los Angeles. Yes.
And he's just so fluid.
Yeah, I like his story, how he says that he'll get hit on by straight men even when he's got like a 4 o'clock shadow, 5 o'clock shadow.
Well, in the one scene that you film, I mean, he comes out as a woman, and then or dressed.
Yes, it's like a 17th century courtesan.
Yeah, you have no idea. You have
Absolutely.
no idea.
Yeah. beautiful.
Until he's in his underwear, you haven't a clue.
Yeah, that's according to him, that was his favorite thing, was just, doing this whole striptease and seeing all the straight men in the audience like, hey, what's going to happen? And then he turns around and he's a boy.
Yeah.
And just seeing the look of confusion on their faces, like that's kind of what he lived for at that point, at least. I don't know about
he's
now.
still doing
We shall call that gender breaking.
Yes.
Yes, he definitely broke a lot of genders.
Or what have you.
Yeah.
What challenges went into making the film, Amy?
I think telling a story that's portraits more than a contest or a ticking clock is very, very challenging, and waiting long enough and being patient enough so that Anna's story unraveled. So that I
unraveled.
Yes, we had to wait for Anna to unravel.
But did you was there a through line for you, or as you're putting it together, it was developing around you?
You really have to wait and let it develop. I mean, I thought we were telling in part a story of anatomy of a subculture, which we did. We were there then. We were there as it began, and we're very lucky that it grew exponentially as we were shooting, and that the Hoopers were willing to film themselves. So we had great intimacy, of moments where no one was present. And video journals are very touching. Mm-hmm. And Anna took great risk. And is still talking to me.
Well, yeah, there is the scene where it's the selfie.
Yes.
And that's a little hard to watch because in some ways I'm watching, I'm going, okay, quit your whining. Quit your whining. Poor me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I honestly applaud you for being able to share that.
Yeah.
Because I would have done that. I would say, please do not show that of me. All right. I didn't mean to say that.
Well, but that's how I really felt, and yeah, absolutely.
But it makes sense.
It was a poor me moment.
But seriously, it makes sense. I mean, this whole Facebook phenomenon. I turn on there and if I'm having a bad day and everybody's telling how great their life is, I go fi to you. I'm deleting you. I don't want that. And it's funny because I'm hearing that from a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, they did whole studies about Facebook around that, how it lowers your self-esteem.
Oh, it does.
Yes.
Yeah, because you're constantly seeing
You're bombarded with, yes, look at me, I'm traveling around Europe.
Which is never the real story. People post the most positive things of like, oh, wow, it's amazing, but it's not really the full story of their lives.
I was actually thinking about creating a fake family. Like, here's my wife.
Yeah, you should. Go for it.
Married. Here's my wife.
Can I make that film about you?
Yeah, let's do that.
You're on.
Yeah, let's do that. And, she's pretty and perky, and I've got these wonderful kids.
Yes.
And the dog talks.
The dog, and the kid he channels Mozart.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think Family Guy is what you're talking about. I think it's already been done. Sorry. You're going to have to come up with a new premise.
Oh, thank you, Anna. Thanks for destroying me. When do you film my self-moment driving home tonight? I go, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
I just saved you a lot of time.
What you did.
You'll thank me later. Tough love.
So you got interesting people. Shaquille O'Neal, go figure.
He's a hooper.
Was he really a hooper?
Absolutely.
Well, he's a basketball. That's a hooper.
He's a hooper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It all blends together.
It's a big community.
Circle's a circle.
A circle is a circle. And, just a variety. Now, what really, and I mentioned this earlier, what really kind of freaked me out, Art Linkletter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's talking, first of all, I got to tell everybody, Anah, a.k.a. Hoopalicious, she is Hoopalicious. You're looking at this body, and there's no body fat. And she's got these abs, and she's like, if you look in the dictionary under sexy, she's the poster child for the sexiest woman alive.
I still got it. Sweet.
Yeah, she still has it. And so then she showed all this stuff, and then there's Art Linkletter going.
It's his last interview.
Yeah, it's like
he thank God did not live to see the movie.
Yeah, when you see that undulating,
this is creepy.
Yeah, it was a little creepy, but it was cool.
I'll give him that. The guy was old. He did a lot in the world. He's about to die.
Yes. But he was cool.
Let him have his creepy moment. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay.
He used to do all those things with the kids, right? He'd interview the kids.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, he was a little institution.
But he really did. I mean, we
got it, too.
We really love what he said,
beautiful.
which is a job can be as much fun as hooping.
Yeah.
And and you can have a life.
Doesn't feel like you ever
work like a day in your life. And he was the only person alive who had promoted the original 50s hula hoop.
Yeah. I mean, the hula hoop, it's made a comeback.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you make your own hoops, right?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
I do.
And it's interesting. There used to be on Abbot Kinney, right on the corner there, there was a hula hoop place.
That's probably Hoopnautica.
Hoopnautica. They're not there anymore, right? Or
I think
they
moved. Yeah.
But they look.
Anna is actually making the first biodegradable hoop.
No, you got to stop saying that.
I say it wrong. Anna's making the
100% post-consumer recycled hula hoop. Very different than biodegradable.
I like that.
Yeah.
Show you, whammo. We'll show you.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not biodegradable. You're that nasty plastic stuff.
It's not biodegradable. It's not biodegradable.
I keep living.
How long did it take to make the film? How long did it take to make the film?
I think my entire life I've been making this film. It took about 8 years.
About 8 years?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. What was the biggest process for you? The editing or the shooting or?
Trying to make a story out of profiles. Making a story that where, there wasn't a ticking clock, where it's really getting to know a subculture. And
when you say wasn't a ticking clock, what do you mean?
It's not like, oh my God, they're all going to die if they don't hula hoop. You know what I mean? There isn't.
But you do tug. There is some tugging at some heartstrings in the film.
Absolutely, but that takes time to to build that and to wait and to let things happen.
Yeah.
And Tisha's program in the inner city is one of the most exciting things that ever happens, and they canceled the program.
Yeah.
And so that took a lot of filming, and they started canceling all the programs in LA. And what it happened to the kids as a result of that, and following the kids and realizing what the program actually meant to them. And Tisha took in one of the kids afterwards. But, that takes many years to evolve. Yeah. I think it's sort of like you meet, a lot of documentaries, you meet someone at a party and, that's the extent of you getting to know them. Or if you know someone over years, it's very meaningful. Mm-hmm. And I think that we spent a lot of time with people, and you really do feel like you get to know them and what the hoop means to each of them differently.
Was it hard to... you have Michelle Obama in the film.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We were very fortunate that she decided to use hooping to represent health at the White House.
Oh, isn't that... And,
that was nice of her, yes.
Was that B-roll, or you actually went and shot that?
That's B-roll.
Yeah, okay. But that's cool. So how did you hook up... you call Shaquille O'Neal and say...
the film has a real... as you said, it has heartstrings. It's really, really meaningful.
So they go, wow, I did that. I'm going to pony up. And then getting a hold of Art Linkletter and all that?
Well... Art, he got to promote his skates. He still was promoting and selling things.
That's what
so as long as the skates were in the back of the shot.
Oh, are you serious?
And Art's the only person in the film that doesn't hoop. So Shaq hoops in the movie. The whole deal was if you're going to be in the movie, you have to hula hoop.
Yeah, and that was
so
the
we have
one
no
thing.
Talking heads.
Well, that was kind of the motif, is everybody talking. They're sitting there,
moving beautifully.
Moving beautifully.
Yes.
And
Sting,
such a natural...
Sting was supposed to appear in the film, too, but we couldn't get through his publicist.
Yes.
Sting?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they used a bunch of footage of me behind... projected behind him during his what is it, Sacred Love tour.
Was that the one? Was that the... I went and saw him at, I think it was at the Greek Theater, and then there was out in Orange County.
Yeah, I played
where
the
all
Greek
those
Theater.
flat screens.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, so you're in that?
Yep.
Yeah, and then and then I performed at his birthday party. I think his 50th birthday party, and he was so sweet. He kept running up to me the whole time, like, "I love you," because I'd been projected giant behind him for like a whole year. I was like,
seriously?
What? And then I ran into him at Burning Man, and this is like the defining moment of my
did he
life.
play? No, he was just there.
He was
Burning
just
Man.
there hanging out at Burning Man.
That's got to be that Burning Man gig has got to be tough.
Yeah,
I don't think I could go unless I had like the full, like big
No, it's
double
not
wide.
that bad. We filmed the whole end of the movies at Burning Man.
Yeah, I saw that.
If we could film
I'm
at
so
Burning Man,
fascinated by Burning Man.
It's really... The Hoopers truly take Burning Man to heart. Burning Man is about gifting, about living through exchange.
Yeah.
Like, I'll help you learn to be an entrepreneur if you'll help me, mail my hoops.
And then there's Mickey Rooney. Come on, kids, let's put on a show.
All right, you guys are missing the defining moment of my
Yes.
life. I was about
Yeah.
to tell you.
Yes.
Oh, tell us.
You
Sorry.
guys curious?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was at Burning Man, and I was hosting a hoop jam, and I was just standing on the side, everyone's hooping, and this dusty man comes running up to me, and at first it didn't register because it was so out of context. So I think he must have seen that look on my face, and he says, "Hey, do you remember me? It's me, Sting." And I was just
Are you
like,
serious?
I have arrived. Are you kidding? And he was so sweet. He was so relaxed, because, Burning Man is a place you can be really anonymous. So
You're
nobody
covered
was
in dust.
asking him for, his autograph. No one was mobbing him. They were just hanging out like part of the crowd. And it was really sweet to see that. But yeah.
See, in LA, if you see celebrity, you have to actually be rude to them. No, I'm not going to. No.
Yeah.
And they're trying to be all, no, come on, I'm Sting. Here, let me get. No,
Yeah.
I
He's the
have,
sweetest
I
man,
have to
though.
ignore
Really
you.
sweet man.
But talking about some of the things that are really difficult is getting really good music. It's a movie that's about a music phenomenon.
Well, yeah, because then you have the licensing.
And it's with Hell. And so Basement Jaxx offered to score the movie.
Okay.
And that's when we knew
I have
we
no
had a
idea who
movie.
they are, but the
They're
score
one
is
of the
good.
coolest British electronic duos that make dance music.
Oh,
And
nice.
they've run a Grammy, and they're really great producers. They came to Venice, and they helped us score the movie, and they're wild, and they're cool, and we made a music video with them, and they really fell in love with hooping.
Look at her face when she talks about that. She just
I
totally
love
lights.
them. They were like, they saved our lives.
Yeah.
They did?
They're really
Well,
fun.
because you got to be authentic. You have to have legit music if you make a movie about a music phenomenon.
Is that important to you, authenticity?
Absolutely, very
Yeah.
important.
In what way? What is it? How does that resonate with you?
I think when you're a documentary filmmaker, there is, once you start shooting or editing, there is no truth anymore, but you can be very authentic. You can be true to your subject.
And that has kind of blurred the line. I mean, obviously people always point to Michael Moore, where he kind of blurs the line.
Like, goes a boat off of Cuba and yells, healthcare!
Yeah. And then there have been, there was a film, Mondo Abala, where actually it looks more like a feature than a documentary. But do you find a problem with that? Or, I mean, if you're authentic and telling the truth, then really the artifice doesn't...
No, I mean, I had thought about making the last 10 minutes the Hoopers, 50 years from now, and how are they doing?
Yeah, she's going... Michael Apted is going to... He's got the corner on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I love those movies. So
how would it be? It's like, okay, 7. So I'm going to wait 7 years. Okay.
50 years.
50 years.
He's going to have actors play you guys in 50 years from now.
Yeah, so what is he up to now?
What's Michael up to?
No, Michael Apted. Is it like 49 up?
Yeah.
79 up?
I think it's 49 up.
49 up?
Yeah. Yeah, those are really good movies, actually. Wow. No, I think as long as
I would
you know
look at
what
mine
kind
and
of
go,
movie
wow, I'm still unfamous. It's 7 years later.
I keep waiting. Nope.
I keep waiting. What's your favorite thing about the film, and what was the least favorite thing for you?
I don't think I have a least favorite thing.
Okay.
I mean, I think my favorite thing was working with a community of people that were actually, really excited about what they were doing. Mm-hmm. And it's an art form that was evolving in front of us, and the community was growing like crazy. And it was really the story about falling in love with something and taking the risk. Even though people might make fun of you and it might seem really silly that you're into hula hooping, that whatever it is you actually really love, if you give a lot to it and commit to it, what you get back. And I think that's Anah's story. What she gets back in the end is really amazing. Because
I think there is an arc for you, Anah, in the film. You're starting out and you're starting to build this kind of movement, and then with this woman, what was Christabel?
Yeah.
She gets involved, and then there's that. She was meant. I mean, it was almost like, okay, she's ready to snatch the pebble, and she had to go on. And yeah, sure, there's going to be you're a little bitter, but I think when you come back and you reacquaint yourself with the relationship with your mother, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because what you did ultimately with her is you kind of revitalized her.
Yeah.
And then, you talk about you're working with her now. And so how does it feel for you now with doing the hula hoops, and where are you? Where is the process now for you?
Well, I took about a year off, maybe 5 years ago, just because the myth of Hoopalicious had grown to this point where I couldn't go to a hoop jam without the eyes looking and going, I heard she's really good. What's she going to do? And I was so just uncomfortable within that scrutiny that I didn't even want to hoop. Like, I literally would hoop on my waist in the corner until people stopped looking at me. So I actually took almost a year off. And in that time, I, was really exploring whether I wanted to continue doing it. And I think it was really important for me to do that, because then I was able to reconnect to why I originally started hooping. It's because it's how it makes me feel, and it's something that I love to do. I love to share. I love what it does for other people. I love what it does for me. And I just needed that time off to reconnect with, that initial passion.
To reconnect with who you are.
Yeah.
Well, there's also...
and then once I came back in, then it was just much stronger. I came back in with a much more balanced place that I was able to kind of shed a lot of that identity in terms of, if I don't become Christabel with this, if I don't become successful with this, that I'm less than. I was able to shed that and go, no, I'm just doing this because I love it, and I'm going to let what happens happen and just be on the ride for the ride's sake.
Well, there's also one of the persons featured in the film was a South African. She was an actress, Sass. And she was raped, and then she decided to leave the country, and she comes and discovers the hula hoop and really kind of transforms her life. And it's amazing when you see this arc of what happens with her.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting because she comes full circle, and she's within a circle, and she comes full circle.
There's so many metaphors. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was a film filled with metaphor.
Yes, it's true.
Well, listen, best of luck. Now, the film is going to be available
It is available now on iTunes, on VOD, on DVD, and on streaming. At thehoopinglife.com, at iTunes, on your local cable viewer. It's everywhere.
Well, congratulations to both of you, and what a pleasure and an honor to have you here.
It's been an honor to be here.
And best of luck. Keep me posted.
And are we going to get you hula hooping? We got to.
Yeah.
Check out thehoopinglife.com, and if you want to see more about me, it's hooprevolution.com.
Hooprevolution.com.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.